No.
Biggs Golf Talk and BGT TV is presented by the U.S. Golf Challenge with Tito's Handmade Vodka. Qualify for the King's Cup today by participating in a national qualifier in your area. Visit usgolfchallenge.com to find a national qualifier in your area. BGT also sponsored in part by Tour Edge Golf. Pound for pound, nothing comes close. Golf's most solid investment. Encore Golf, Photo Ball Marker, The Distance Shoe, Squares Shoes, Proof, Not Promise, UFO Tour Golf, GolfKnickers.com, and Caddy Daddy, The Claw Glove. Connect with Biggs Golf Talk on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at Biggs Golf Talk. Subscribe with us on YouTube and iTunes, Amazon Music, and the Google Play Music Store. We're also available on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all your Alexa devices. Our website is www.biggsgolftalk.net or .com. It's BIGGS, golftalk.net or .com. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old me that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother. Walk in the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give to me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live on in your eyes and in your mind. You can love me most by letting hands touch hands, by letting bodies touch bodies, and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die. People do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to a special edition of Biggs Golf Talk. The memorial and celebration of life, JDOGG, Justus J. Becks. I'm Big John Quick. My partner today is Bill Cuevas. And today we come to you not as the BGT crew, but just as John and Bill. Yep. Bill, the Godfather Cuevas, if nobody's heard, but we lost a person that's probably the longest reigning fan of Biggs Golf Talk.
It's the truth. But he was more than that. He was family to us.
He was.
You know what I mean?
Still is.
Yes, always. Because he's going to live through all of us. He's going to live through his children, his wife, his family, his friends, everybody. Everybody's going to be listening today. This video that'll be posted after the fact, after this live show. A lot of the sponsors, he was an ambassador for golf. He was more than that. He was one of the few genuine, really, truly good-hearted humans that live here and didn't really want anything in return. It's just who he was. He's one of the only people that actually is a fan that was on our show. You know what I mean? So that was one of the best episodes that we had. We prayed together.
Yes.
We shared a lot together. You know, he was always there and he was always looking out. We always, you know, you open up our social media, you know, we open it up and hey guys, you got to check out this. He was like boots on the ground. Check these people out. Connect with these. This is a good, oh my God, this is a great product. Go look at these
How
people.
many times have we gotten private messages from him with companies? He was responsible for Encore Golf.
Yes.
He was responsible for Caddy Daddy.
He was
responsible
for Foxfire.
Yes.
Foxfire. Everything that was going on in Phoenix, in Arizona and stuff, he was always there, always talking about it, always shooting us private messages. everything. He was always there for us. And it was weird because when we were doing the live show, he's always front and center. You know what I mean? No matter what time of the day is, he's there, and he wasn't. And I didn't know it. And I was like, wow.
You know, the funny thing is, and I'm not, and his wife is going to be joining us in just a moment here. And something that Justus has done that I don't think anybody else can duplicate or even replicate. And that's touch people in the way that the social media platform was meant to be used.
And you'll see it here. You have people all around the country. You have, you know, companies. You have regular golfers. You have just fans. And we're all going to be together to celebrate his life. And that's what
I know you weren't fortunate enough to meet him.
Yeah, not in person.
I was.
Yes, you are.
Me and Richard Sanchez was able to golf with him.
Not long ago.
No. I'm just truly blessed and honored that I got to meet him.
Yeah.
Because he's genuinely a big teddy bear and a good human being.
Yeah, he is. And that's how he's going to be remembered. And we're going to make sure that no one ever forgets him.
Now, Bill, and I want to make people laugh a little bit, because before we get to everybody here, Justus had a way of a great sense of humor, right? Hiss a lot.
Yes.
You know, he just liked to make people laugh. Well, I have something, Bill.
Yes.
From you.
Uh-oh.
And if you would look at your screen right now.
All right. I'm ready to. that yeah. Yeah, that was part of the challenges and stuff like that. Yeah, I remember that was what was it, Joe style?
Yeah. back in
the day when we were doing Joe style and stuff like that. Everybody was doing it back then, and it was a great part. It's fun. I mean, that's what it's about. I mean, while social media can be crippling to people, for us, for I would say 90% of the time,
right,
it has been a total blessing. We have come out with some amazing family, people, friends. I mean, all around the country, all around the world.
All right, we're going to get to all of our guests right now. And before we do that, I just want to apologize ahead of time to all our sponsors that we are going to go commercial free here.
Yeah.
So we're just going to keep the show rolling and keep things moving. I know there's a lot of people that have a lot of things to say.
Yeah.
But first, let's bring in the widow of Justus Becks. Holly Becks is joining us right now on Biggs Golf Talk. And Holly, welcome into Biggs Golf Talk. I know you didn't want to go on video because, trust me, I'm going to be shedding a lot of tears today myself, and many of our guests and many of our listeners and watchers are going to be shedding tears as well. But first off, our condolences, our prayers, and anything we can do to help the Becks family, we certainly will be there for you.
Oh, thank you so much. He would love this. You know he would, and I believe he's here with you guys right now. And
yes,
he would love this, and that's why I wanted to be part of it to just say that I know he would just love this. This is right up his alley. You know that. You guys know that, and yeah, I appreciate you guys doing this. It's awesome.
Justus lost a battle to COVID, and he was a firm believer and had his beliefs with not getting vaccinated, and certainly many people out there do have their own beliefs as far as that goes. What would you say to those people? Now, you know what, and I got to tell you, I was one of those people that, hey, your choice is your choice.
Absolutely.
But I'm sorry, folks. If you, especially you have family, you have friends that are going to miss you and everything else. I'm pro-vaccination 100% now. This hit home.
I mean, it's rough because, I mean, the numbers, we don't know, everybody's going to talk about fake news and stuff like that, and we're not going to make this political, but in Florida, we had 100% of the people that were passing, 98% of them were unvaccinated, 2% were the ones that were, and it was because of a fluke, because of underlying conditions and stuff like that. People are going to have to make their own choice. I don't know if we're going to have much of a choice the way everything is going, but most of the people that are passing are the ones that haven't been vaccinated and that are around a lot of people and have that kind of exposure. We can only hope that, it doesn't continue, man. We got to get a grasp on this thing and do something, because it's taking people far too young. I mean, last week, between Justus and losing a guy that was 45 years old, it's crazy. I mean, it's attack. I mean, they said old people. Well, what's going on right now? How many people have we seen in the golf industry? Just 3 weeks ago, we lost 3 people in the golf industry. It's just, and It doesn't matter. It doesn't care how old you are. It's taking you 35, 45, 50. It doesn't matter. It's taking.
Holly, how do you feel now about the vaccination? Now this is, I mean, there's nobody that has struck most close to home than to your family. And what would you say about the COVID vaccination?
I firmly believe that everybody has their own choice to do what they want. I'm not going to tell you how, I feel or what my views are with my children, because I'm going to keep those private right now. But I do believe that everybody has a choice to make their own decision. And I look back and do I wish he would have got the vaccine? 100%. But I didn't know what was going to happen. And he stood strong in his beliefs on, certain things. And of course, I mean, do I wish he would have gotten 100%, because maybe he would have been here, but maybe he wouldn't have. You don't know, and everybody should make their own choice on what they want to do with their own body. I guess, it's awful what happened. But at the same time, we live in a free country, and he stood firm in his beliefs, and that he won't sit there and mince words. He'll tell you how he feels. He doesn't care, and it is what it is. Am I okay with it? 100% no. I'm not okay with him gone. I'm not okay with him, dying when he still has 4 kids. But, I'm not going to hate God for it. I'm not going to be mad, because he wouldn't want me to be. So I will just accept God's will. And, I'll never be okay with it. I never will be.
Right.
But I have to accept God's will. And we do live in a free country. People can choose, what they want to do with their bodies, and
I'm certainly not going to criticize people for not getting a vaccine. I'm just 100% pro.
That's great.
And it's especially we're seeing more and more.
If it has a chance to save a life.
At this point, yeah. If you, and especially when they're saying if you have these underlying conditions,
right?
I know heart disease and diabetes are 2 of the huge and big ones.
I guess the only thing we could say is do your research, and do what you feel is best for you and your family and all that stuff. Holly, we're going to get off we got this, your opinion, our opinion, but this is a memorial and a celebration of life. Let's now talk about Justus Becks. First off, where'd you guys meet? What was it like dating Justus Becks? Where did it happen? Where did he pop the question, will you marry me, and all that stuff?
So we met when I moved up to Green Bay to go to college, to finish college up in Green Bay. We met at my I was working as a cashier at a grocery store. He came through my line, and from then on, that was it. I mean, we were together. We were 20. We got married when we were 23, and moved to Arizona when we were 24. We, bought a house. We started our family. He started his job at United Dairymen of Arizona, and he's been there ever since. He's a solid guy. I mean, he literally would do anything for his family. The only thing that meant more to him than golf was his family. And that's always how he was. He was seriously just a solid husband. He was a solid father. He was everything you saw online. He was truly that kind. He was truly that nice and truly that giving to everybody, including his family and kids. I mean, he would lose sleep before he could, before he would not finish his responsibilities here at home, or the promotions he did. That all came before even sleep, sadly. But he was as solid as he portrayed on the internet and the TV, or not the TV, but on online and everything. He truly was exactly what he portrayed. I mean, so
I want to know, was he the prankster with you as well? Is that what caught you? Is that what I mean, did he pull the pranks that he pulled on his friends and all that
did
stuff?
he throw a hiss a lot on your cashier counter? And all
he
of a sudden
probably
Smith
tried
rolled
that
up?
once. He tried that once, but
And what did you do to him that he never tried it again? That's what I want to know. Because
he did it once, and I'm like, you know what? No, keep that on the golf course, and we'll be fine. But yeah, he loved laughing. He loved anything fun, or he's just kind of a crazy guy, and he never backed down.
There's a lot of victims out there that hiss a lot that are thinking about him right now. Like,
well, Holly, you're gonna hang with us, right, the whole time,
sure.
Yes. Because we have tons of people that are waiting to get to you, and want to pass their comments and things like that. Our first person, he's on the road right now, is Jason Cherpak. He's joining us right now on Big's Golf Talk. And Jason, I know you have years and years of things with Justus Becks. What would you like to say to Holly and family?
Yeah, hey, thanks. First of all, thanks, John and Billy, for providing this opportunity to all of us. It's much appreciated. Holly, my deepest condolences to you and the kids and the family. We all could feel what you just said. What a husband and a father he was, and I know what a loss that'll be. And I know there's nothing I can say other than my thoughts and prayers are with you. And he was exactly what you said he was.
Thank you.
Getting to lead off, I'm going to kind of say something that I imagine is going to be echoed by a lot of people. And it doesn't matter whether, like Billy, who met him but never met him in person, or John, who met him once, or his best friends who saw him 6 times a week. If you knew Justus, and I use new in quotes, right? That's this new internet new, where you don't have to have met someone in person. You don't have to have even talked to him. If you knew Justus was a friend. And I had met him once when I was in Arizona. We had a drink once. We tried to get out golfing, but my schedule never quite allowed it the few times I was out there. But I always felt like he was a friend. I talked to him online maybe every other week, every third week. We would talk golf. We would talk White Sox, Yankees. We would talk Bears, Packers. And talking to Justus was like talking to one of the guys. It was like talking to the guys I've lived with and hung with forever. He was that kind of a person, warm, inviting, caring. And it didn't matter what you believed in, or what you did, or what you were. If you were a good person, Justus was a friend. And I only got to hang out with him once. Every other time I was in town, I just couldn't make it work. And that'll be a regret, like Billy said, that I never got that round of golf with him. Never got hits a lot in my shorts. Never never had that chance. But again, I'm gonna let it go and let other people have a shot. But peace to you and the family. Holly, John, Billy, thank you. And it is nice to see on this list a lot of other friends of mine, some who I've met in person, some who I haven't. And y'all take care of yourself. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you,
Jason. Appreciate you. Thank you. Holly, certainly a great kickoff, but it really says a lot, that from people indirectly or directly that Justus has touched.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he was everything that he really portrayed. I mean, there was no, he wasn't faking it, or he really cared. I mean, he cared about people, and he loved golf. He's always loved golf since high school. He was on the high school golf team, and so it was all genuine. He was very genuine about golf. I mean, that was his passion for sure.
Okay, up next, a company built a Godfather Quay bus
Yes.
that Justice kept on telling us about. This is going to be the next big thing. They are going to take over the golf ball industry. They have science. They have this. They have the metal hollow core golf ball, and I'm driving it over 300 yards. And so I'm bringing up right now one of the inventors and one of the CEOs and people from Encore Golf, Brett Blakely is joining us here right now in his Buffalo Bills swag.
Yes.
Brett Blakely, Justice was hardcore Encore. You know that. Your company knows that. We're going to bring your dad on next after you. But what would you like to say to Holly regarding Justice?
Yeah, I mean, for one, Holly, I am devastated that I never got to meet you and Justice in person. Of course, I'm incredibly sorry for your loss. I feel like I know you guys. I remember getting cookies that you baked at the behest of Justice, Justice to send me during holidays years ago. By the way, were delicious.
Thanks.
You're gonna have to visit Holly for some of those.
I didn't know that.
I'm coming back to Phoenix, and I'm gonna meet you, your family, and golf with those little kids of his that he wanted to play golf and eat some cookies.
Yeah, you guys are always welcome.
When you talk about such a long fan and supporter of the show, Bill and Big John, I mean, this is 10 years in the making for Encore, and literally since day one, he wasn't just a fan; he was a super fan.
Mm-hmm.
He was our biggest friend and supporter, and everything that we wanted to have in a part of Team Encore, and in a fan of Team Encore, and in a person to be associated and speak the gospel of Encore. I mean, he was that guy, but it went way beyond that. I mean, he and I would message almost daily. He's sending me hilarious. He made the funniest memes ever.
Every day.
Every single day. And I'm like, these are hysterical. He was a supporter of me as an individual. I mean, he would message me about whether it was photography or when I got engaged or anything. I mean, he was just such a genuine person, such a huge heart. And I have literally never heard one bad thing about him. I mean, everybody that did get to meet him that I interacted with would just echo the exact same sentiments, that he was everything that that you expected. When COVID actually started last year, I remember he was one of the first people that I reached out to do a Zoom interview with, and that was our first opportunity to get a face-to-face, as close to a personal face-to-face as you could have done. And I remember he's sitting in his truck, and I'm like, "What's up, man?" It's like you want to the thing and hug him because you feel like you've known him for so long. But I think it goes to show you what an impact he had. I mean, the previous gentleman had talked about the new age of knowing somebody, through the internet, even if you haven't met. And when I heard about his loss, I was in absolute shock in the beginning, and for not having ever met him in person, I mean, I was brought to tears.
Yes.
I called Steve, the co-founder, with me, and sorry.
No, we totally understand. I mean, that's how everybody feels. He had that kind of impact. Exactly what you're going through, we all went through. How could you not be shocked? I mean, he touched our hearts without actually touching us. And that's incredible. I mean, I never got to shake his hand. We were nothing. I mean, we were close because of a screen. So while people use social media for negative aspects, he was always there, positive, making you laugh, causing all kinds of chaos, which we all love to see, as long as it wasn't us that was seeing that snake on the floor when we were going back into our golf cart. So yeah, we have the same sentiments as you, Brett. I mean, it's on point. You're speaking the truth and from the heart.
And so, Holly, I just want to let you know that, I mean, you already know this, but he truly was loved. He was truly far more than a customer or a fan. Um, all of us. He definitely was great. We'll think of ways that we can support you and your family.
Thank you. Yeah, he loved Encore Golf. I mean, our bedroom, if you saw our closet, it I'm
Post a
like,
picture. If you didn't post it on Facebook, Holly, it didn't happen.
yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, and, you know, he rarely lost a golf ball. So, I mean, if you can imagine all the golf balls that we have in there, it's impressive
really
for sure.
Holly and Brett, the first Encore golf ball that I ever got was sent to me from JDOGG. And I thought he was crazy because he sent me a ball that had, he said, it's made out of steel in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I'm not going to buy that. No, I will send it to you.
Yeah.
He sent it to me. And that ball lasted 3 holes because I hit it over where I normally would hit it. And it ended up in the water because I never thought I could hit it that far. And I became an Encore fan because
he loved it.
I mean,
that was his ball.
Yes, I lost his ball in the first round. So yes, it's a great way that we get to share Encore so much with him because he was a true ambassador, a true believer in them from the very beginning. When nobody else would think a steel ball, that's incredible. No way. And look at you guys now. Look at where you're at. Look at where Justus kept going.
Because not very good. And even though it wasn't a great ball, Justus was still, making it seem it was the next best thing. We appreciate it.
Yeah, he believed it. He believed it for sure.
And getting to speak to you, Holly, and like I said, I truly have nothing but love for Justus and you guys and my family, and I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
Obviously, ever anything we can do.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We had, thank you, Brett. We had somebody check in here on YouTube TV right now where you can leave comments. Also on Facebook, you can leave comments as well. And I want to show this comment again. It showed up automatically on the screen. Mark Carlson says, I hope all the companies that he supported so much can support his children in the future. It's funny that comment was made because Bill and I have been in contact with many companies.
Yes.
Like Encore. We're
Caddy,
brainstorming
Daddy, everybody. Yes.
On what we're going to try and do to help you, Holly, help your kids.
Yes.
And all that.
Well, there is a later fund out there as well.
He's going to be our next guest after Keith is going to join us.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to try and do that. My wife's checking in. She's watching it from a remote location. He was BGT all the way. Sorry. Such a great guy with a huge heart. Yeah, he was.
He will always be.
Yeah, he was. He was definitely. Believe it or not, he comes off as a real tough, man's man, but he was probably more sensitive than I am, and
that's how those gentle giants usually are. And they always say that God takes the good ones first. With so much craziness out there everywhere. Everywhere you turn, there's crazy, and you have.
He always wanted to play around with Arnold Palmer. Now he's gets a chance.
I'm pretty sure he's on there with. He's like, hey, Arnold, have you tried this Encore ball? You know what I mean? Have you seen these square shoes?
Let's bring Keith Blakely in right now. He is the head man at Encore Golf. He really heads up the whole operation and working with his son and all that stuff. Keith, welcome into Biggs Golf Talk, and you're on with Holly.
John and Bill, pleasure to be on, and Holly, as everyone has said, just our most sincere condolences and thoughts are with you. It was devastating for us. As you can tell, I'm hiding behind the avatar. Not sure I can hold it together as well as Brett did. And Brett and Justus interacted far longer even than I did. The first several years of Encore, Brett and Steve were really the guys that were kind of pulling things together and testing things out. When our golf ball ultimately got approved by the USGA, we all felt it was time to bring the gray hair in and a little more of the real world experience. So I missed the first couple of years, although I have to say the memes, the ads that Justus created for Encore, some of them we couldn't use.
Yes.
They were a little bit over the top, but we loved them just as much as the ones that we could repost.
Mhm.
I feel extremely fortunate that I did actually meet Justus. I flew down to Phoenix 3 years ago. Actually was there because a very close friend of mine by the name of Sam McCamey was down there for some experimental treatment for pancreatic cancer. And we were doing a demonstration for some virtual golf equipment that we were working with another company on. And when Justus found out that I was going to be down in that area, even though it was a work day during the work week, he made the time and came out and was able to meet him, shake his hand, spend a little bit of time with him. And yeah, he was as advertised. There was nothing phony about this guy. And what's really impressed me is I've started to read all of the comments that people have left, whether it's on Facebook or other places, is Justus accomplished what John, you and Bill and Encore have really tried to do, which is to create a community. I mean, this is a community of people interested in golf, in each other, in their businesses, in what they do personally, as well as what they do professionally. Justus was a tremendous catalyst to all of that. You didn't need to belong to a country club. You didn't need to be a scratch golfer. You didn't need to, have a net worth that was, in the seven figures. Justus was a guy that people, gravitated to, interacted with, enjoyed in their own ways. And it's really such a testament to his personality and his life that he was able to do that, to create that kind of community when it is tough and where there's so much disagreement or divisiveness. Justus was a guy that pulled it all together, and kudos to him, and of course our just great respect for what he did with his family, which we became very familiar with because of our interactions with him. So like Brett, who's much more eloquent, I will just say that he was just a tremendous friend. We will miss him dearly, and we will certainly be looking at the things that we can do to try and promote anything that supports his vision for life, and certainly for his family.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned something, because my wife just posted a comment. Big John, let's go to Phoenix and host a golf tournament for him. We know we can do it. I bet I can get a guy named Rob West to help us out. I know more golfers in Arizona than New Mexico. Rob West has joined us right now, and he says, I'm all in. Let's do it.
And for those who don't know, Rob West,
he's a country music star,
and he is also part of the big break industry for golf. He's a caddy for Mr. Gomez, Robert Gomez, yes. Huge in the golf industry and music industry. So yeah, I think that would be great, because there's a lot of companies as well.
And I know, Keith, we could count on Encore Golf for that.
Maybe we could have the first annual event out there, Keith. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I just want to say he would love that. I mean, he would love that.
Yes, I think that would be amazing. That's a really good idea.
And Holly, when we make that happen, you and the kids have to be a part of it.
Oh,
I would love to be
front and center. Yes,
yeah,
that would be an amazing event. I think that's something really good and plannable. I think it is a lot of folks out there that love them, from Phoenix, from golf courses to golfers, everything. We can make that happen. I really do. I think that'd be a great event.
Yeah,
absolutely. And golf advisory is
Council
in as well.
Is in. Jason Tenzer. Yes, he's big out and around in the golf industry as well. We appreciate you, Jason. I think this is just the beginning, because everybody's raveling in their brain and trying to.
I think we could have an annual memorial JDOGG invitational.
I think that would be beautiful. You know what I mean? I really do. Celebrate his life every year.
Proceeds go to the Becks family.
That's absolutely right. You got 4 kids that need to go to school and college and everything else. I think it'd be great. So yes,
Lou says I'll come from Pittsburgh.
There you go.
There you go.
And does Pittsburgh like cheeseheads? I don't know.
They'll make an exception this
They'll
one
make
time.
an exception. Okay. We're going to make an exception. Let me know what you need to make the tourney. Oh, there you go, Jason. We appreciate you, brother. So, yeah, I think it's a great idea. And with support from Encore and so many ambassadors.
I promise you 100% of all our sponsors will be on board with this.
I'm sure.
100%.
He had his hand in every single one of our sponsors.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
Keith, any closing statements by you from this?
No, I will reiterate that we're all in on something like that. I think it would be fantastic. As you guys know, we've got a lot of non-golfer friends, ambassadors, that kind of thing. Would love to circle up with them and see how much of an event we can turn that into.
That would be beautiful. We look forward to doing that. I think we should do
guys.
an anniversary.
Thank you, Keith.
And thanks for doing this. And best of luck, Holly.
Thank you so much.
Holly, you have seen hundreds of comments being made on social media, and I know it's so hard to address each and every one of those. What would you like to say in a whole group, to those people?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely haven't been on there thanking people just because there's so many things that need to be done here with the kids and the house and, the arrangements for Justus. And I just want to say thank you I have a bunch of my friends and ladies that I've known that have surrounded me. I don't want to start naming names because I know I'll forget someone, but my friends, the neighbors, my neighbors in my little neighborhood, we've lived here for about almost 20 years. They've surrounded us. My family has surrounded us. More than I could have ever hoped or asked for. So to everyone, I just want to say thank you so much. You guys have made us feel so loved and supported. And it's, I don't think I've had to be alone one day so far. I've always had somebody here and I'll never, ever forget it. One of my friends who happens to be here today, she's called me at least 2 times a day just to check in, and she works and she has kids. So, she has been such a support to me, and neighbors and family and friends, and I just will never forget it because it really makes things easier. And yeah, so thank you. If I haven't officially, went out and said thank you or liked your comments, it's not for any other reason except that I'm just trying to focus on my kids right now and
that's
other things. So, I so appreciate it.
Holly, a GoFundMe page has been started by an individual. As a matter of fact, we were brainstorming. All of a sudden, Derek says, I'm right on it. And before I know it, the GoFundMe page, it was up there.
Yep. And there's some sponsors on there that have been over there they're coming in, and we want to make it more.
Let me just give you a number, Holly. First off, I want to say what this person said on publicly. What he said. Hi, my name is Derek, and I am truly heartbroken to hear the news of the passing of our friend Justus Becks. I never met him. Many who were touched by his kindness and generous heart never did. He touched most of us through his passion for golf and how freely he promoted the game and products he loved to use. One just couldn't help loving him and following him on various social media platforms. We were able to see his love for golf to only be superseded by his love for his wife, Holly, and their 4 children. I've never done this before, but knew that if any one of us golf lovers passed, Justus would move heaven and earth to help our families left behind. If you can help with any amount, please do so, and know that it is going to help the amazing family and of an amazing man. Rest in peace, my friend. Holly, that GoFundMe right now is up to $7,871. And I promise you, our goal by the end of this show is try and get that above $10,000.
That's awesome. And it goes, right to his children. It will go to taking care of his 4 children. And that's where my focus is 100% right now.
Not
Yes.
right now, Holly. I want to bring in the man that created that GoFundMe for your family. I bring Derek Queener on with Biggs Golf Talk. Derek, Justus, another company, by the way, Justus introduced to us
Many years ago.
was your harness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's been years and years and years. I'll let you have the floor, sir.
Yeah, it's funny. I still like on my Facebook memories, like all the advertising that I tried to do when I first started Snaphooks Golf. The only person that ever liked it back then was Justus. I mean, there's like one person that clicked like, or one person that made a comment, and it was always Justus. And this is a product I made in my my kitchen table, and he and I went back and forth, and I mean, he loved it. So for him, he was sending it out to everybody. He was telling everybody, you got to try this. And of course, it was always the craziest colors. He had me make one that was neon pink, neon green, lime green. It was the most horrible looking, but man, he had,
He was a colorful guy.
I hope those made the Hall of Fame.
I don't know. It was on his Cobra bag. I hope it's still around. But
I still have my original golf father that you made for me, and that was because of Justus.
That was because of Justus. Yeah,
that's
he was
right.
And
that's how we live in the same. We live in the same state,
right? Yeah.
and I had no idea, and he was like, "You got to try this. You got to try this." And then we became friends, and I got my golf father one, and I still have it. I still have all the attachments for it and everything.
He was just that kind of person. Nobody like him that I've ever met in my life, and in business or on the golf course or any part of the country. I've never met anybody that touched me that I've never touched, and that is impressive. And
I think that's the best way anybody's going to be able to say it. He has touched us more than anyone can without actually touching them. Yeah,
he's just. He would send me stuff. Mm-hmm. He sent me a really expensive set of head covers just because he's Justus Becks, and I still have them to this day. Mm-hmm. He just wanted me to have them, and they're more important now than they were then. So,
of course, it's understandable. No, nothing to apologize.
We just want to let our listeners know that we have put a link on our website at BiggsGolfTalk.net or BiggsGolfTalk.com. Swing for Justice. Donate now. This is the GoFundMe page that Derek has set up for Justus Becks, and the link there's a little button down below the header that it will take you to there. I just ask, give from your heart, whatever you can.
Everything and anything helps. Share. And look forward to more, because now with this is the beginning. The Swing for Justice is just the beginning. You hear the companies are going to be going in. I'm sure Derek's going to be part of us. He was right there in the front with us when everything happened, and I'm sure he will be there, because you know what? As this show progresses and time goes on, that first tournament, the JDOGG, whatever we're going to call it, is going to become a reality.
JDOGG Memorial.
It's going to become a reality for all of us, because this one man touched everyone in the golf industry. It didn't matter.
And I think we could talk to Holly off the air and see what his favorite course was.
There's so many.
There's probably so many, but I'm sure there's a regular course
that
he golfed at that I think we can host this at. And my wife is on it. I mean, she knows how to run tournaments. So we're going to get right on this.
We have, he was an ambassador for everything he believed in.
You want to talk about true support of entrepreneurship? Mm-hmm. Justus
that
really
little guy. He loved the indie golf, man.
Yeah.
He was an indie golf guy. And me and Big, we had that discussion just the other day. It's funny. I'm looking right across at him. But we had this discussion the other day. How do we memorialize someone that impacted the indie golf, structure? But some of these small companies like Encore have become big companies. So we have to
because of people like
Justus. So we're trying to figure out how can we memorialize him for who he was? I mean, he was right there, boots on the ground, day one, supporting these
Holly,
companies.
I'm happy to announce that Biggs Golf Talk is going to present an award to a golf business every single year at the PGA show in name of Justus Becks.
Oh, that's awesome. If you could keep his name in golf, that he would have loved that. I mean,
Well, he's going to
that's
stay in golf.
his passion. His passion is golf. I mean, that's what he thought about, most of the time when he was at work, when he was at home. I mean, that's his passion. That was his passion for sure.
If there was some way I could get him into the Hall of Fame, that is one person, amateur, that belongs in the Hall of Fame.
There.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He is one. You hear from the PGA trying to promote, golf as an industry and paying these people crazy money to do it. Justus did it for free. He was out there every single morning, afternoon, nighttime, letting us know what was going on, how it was going on, and busting people with his lot. That was his life. I love seeing those things and waking up because it was refreshing. It wasn't woes me. It was like praise. Come on, let's do this. It was perfect. It's what we want.
He just wanted people to love golf. That's it.
Yes.
I mean, that's really literally what he wanted. He wanted people who may not have ever been able to play golf. That's what he wanted. He wanted people to play golf and get out there, and that's it. That's what he wanted.
I want to turn to Derek because Derek put on GoFundMe, and I'm trust me, I've known Derek for many years. Derek has not even started GoFundMe for his entrepreneurship business.
That's right.
That he has started.
Yes, he hasn't. He hasn't
started Kick Me campaigns or whatever.
He
hasn't.
Nope.
This is the first one I ever seen Derek do.
He grabbed the bull by the horns. And
he really did.
Mm-hmm.
And Derek, I gotta ask you, what made you do this one?
I didn't know what else to do.
I know.
When somebody needs help, you help them. That's what Justus would do. And it was as soon as I found out I was at work, and I came home and got on the computer. I figured somebody was going to do it. I didn't know when, but the sooner the better. Let's get this thing going. He was just that kind of person, and I knew he would have been the first one to do it for me or for you or for anyone that he knew. And I remember, showing how much his family meant to him over golf. I remember my first year in the PGA show when I just invented snap hooks. Justus was such a big part of that I told him, I said, I would like to buy you a plane ticket, and I'll pay you for the week, just to hang out at the booth with me, and because you were my biggest supporter. And of course he was ecstatic, but he said, I can't do that. I said, I have my family at home. I have to be with my wife and kids. So even just to take a week to come to the PGA golf show, the golf mecca, it was so secondary to him, to his family, that it wasn't even well, let me talk to my wife. Let me ask my wife. It was no. It was no. I'm not. I can't. So, that's how big of an impact he was on me, knowing what kind of person Justus Becks was.
Speaks volumes. It really does.
We're all golf fanatics. We would do a lot to be at a PGA show or to be at a tournament here or there. Nah, that didn't even cross his mind. So that let me know he's just as good as good comes. And something happened.
Take your time.
He affected me so much. I adopted a cat. It may seem off topic, but it's not. It's not. And the adoption place that I got my cat from, they needed a washing machine. I would never really think to buy a humane society or something a washing machine, but they needed it, and for some reason I was like, Justus would do this.
He would.
So I did it.
Yeah.
I did it this week. And
it's incredible. And that's the type of person he was. He's touching everybody's lives, and he never knew it. I remember I was on a golf course in Florida, and it was John Havison. He reminded me, he just posted on it, such a great loss. He was truly one of a kind. He was. And I was actually where John now resides at on that golf course. And I was driving by, and somebody was actually driving a Green Bay Packer car.
I remember that.
And you remember that?
I remember that. I wanted that car so bad.
And I went and I snapped a picture. I had nothing. I was on a golf. I had nothing. But you know what? I saw it, and the first person that came into my head was Justus Becks. I was like, JDOGG would love this and appreciate it. So of course I had to be a wise person, and I did put a back comment after the fact, but I sent him the picture, which he loved. You saw the picture, John, and that's the type of guy he is. You see things and you remember him. You know what I mean? Because that's the type of person, JDOGG. He leaves his mark everywhere. Every time I see a snake, I think of him. You know what I mean? Is he behind the counter? Who's he there? Is it a real snake? Because that's who he was. You know what I mean? And that's what we're gonna remember. I got a quick question. Who came up with the swing for justice?
I did.
You did? I think
well,
it's screaming.
I
saw that.
Shayna thinks that should be the name of the tournament.
Swing
for Justice.
I think that would be an amazing name for the.
I came up with the link on the website. I said "Swing for Justice."
Yes,
but I think Shayna's right.
I believe.
I love that. I love that name. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, Holly's. Yes.
There
I think that's it. I believe
is.
we have Swing for Justice, the first Memorial Tournament for him. Swing for Justice. I love it. I love that name. So yes, we have our name, Derek. We have the name for our tournament. It's going to be I think it's probably the biggest tournament we ever gone to.
I have no doubt.
You know what I mean?
There's going to be people around the country that
will show up just for that. It'll be an amazing thing, and I know we're going to have support of all of our sponsors because he's there. He was with all of them. You know what I mean? He was with every spot. And the thing is that what people don't realize, a lot of the stuff that we deal with, we do try. We believe in what they are. We believe in the indie golfer like yourself, the indie golf company, Derek. We want that exposure for you guys. You know what I mean? You guys come up with some creative. I mean, you did at your table. Yeah. You know what I mean? And at that time, honestly, I didn't know what indie golf was. One of the people that showed me, because I haven't been a golfer for, I don't even know if I'm a golfer. I'm a scratch golfer because I scratch my head. But other than that, I didn't know what indie golf company was. You only hear of Callaway, Titleist, all these things. And all of a sudden I'm looking at Justus like, is this guy crazy? He wants me to hit a steel golf ball. I don't want to hit a steel golf ball. What's this thing I'm going to attach to my bag?
It's going to dent my driver.
It's going to hurt my driver. What is he, crazy?
I thought the same thing.
Yes.
I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to hit that golf ball. And sure enough, I was
check out this place. Check out this tee. Check out this thing for your bag, this accessory. And I'm like, what company is that? Where is that? So he had that impact. And that's what makes him so special. Yeah. He taught a lot of us what golf is. Some people have great ideas that go out there with a purpose and a true purpose to help our lives easier when we're on the golf course. And your product was one of them because I finally fit everything on my bag. So yes, we have that. And you've had a few other ones that you've come out with and we've known those. Why? Because we're there now. We became fan. Once you become somebody's fan, their ideas become more, out there. You're more out to share because you believe in them. It's not a fly-by-night.
The one thing that Justus really cemented, you want to talk about golf and what golf stands for. Honesty, integrity, sportsmanship.
Yep. We know those.
He solidified what golf is all about. You want to talk about loyalty?
Yeah.
Once Justus
was a fan,
supported something, he was loyal to the end.
Did you see the comments on Facebook? If you wanted to see the different side of Justus, go look at somebody when somebody posted something negative of what he's already tried and believes in. He had facts to support what he wanted to. And all those, people that were like, oh, that's blah, blah, blah. Did you try it? Did you do this? He'd go through all his questions. Blah, blah. You can't criticize something that you've never used.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Or gave a fair shot.
And we see that all too often. And Justus was there. He didn't back down. If he believed in something, and even if one of his friends would put a comment that wasn't too cool about it, he let them know that he wasn't happy about their comment.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. When I remember somebody said, I don't want to carry all that stuff outside my bag. It's going to make my bag heavy. And Justus was like, you already carry it inside your bag. You just don't know where it is. So what? Your point's invalid. You know,
And that's the truth.
And I was like, yeah, you got it. You
And
know?
it's not organized.
So yeah, that's exactly the way he was. He would fire back like, you know, let him know the way it is. And I got the biggest kick out of that. He never, you know, don't talk bad about a company I like. You know,
Lou is right, or pick on his Packers. You know, I'm a part owner in the Pack. And by the way, Holly, is he a part owner by any chance?
I think because my dad, I don't know, the stock or something. I can't say that I understand the whole thing, but yeah, I think we have some kind of stock certificate or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We just don't have the right to vote. That's all.
You don't have the right to
right,
We can't fire the quarterback, but
you can't
he should
fire
be.
nobody.
I think he'll be in Rodgers' ear today.
Yeah.
Yes, he will. Somebody.
I am not posting that comment.
I'm not going to post that thing about the cowgirls.
No,
we refuse to post.
What? Hey, you did. That was my producer. I
Well, your producer's terrible.
yeah,
Take that stuff off of here. There'll be no blasphemy today. No, it's great. And the thing is, that's what it's about. We're celebrating him, and everybody's going to get to know the real him, you know, because a lot of people just think, oh, he's just an ambassador. He's doing this, he's doing that. But you know what? He was doing it before there were ambassador programs.
Before there was ambassador
he was
programs,
there, front
and
and
he
center.
would post the stuff, and people would leave negative comments. Oh, you're just getting some for free, whatever the case. That's all you want, blah, 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 blah. That wasn't Justus at all.
Nope.
If Justus used something and he believed in that product, he stood behind that product 100%.
Yep.
He did the research, and he helped you get educated about that particular product.
Absolutely, 100%. And he made sure that you were on point, and he made sure that you were going to reply to his reply about the product. Did you get in contact with him yet? Did you try them yet? Yeah, I can make the connection. Yes, Justus. We promise we will get to them.
You know, even with companies that really didn't respond to us right away.
They responded.
They responded to Justus.
Hey, Justus, can you make this connection for us, please?
We reached out to some of these products that he was speaking of.
Yeah.
Didn't hear a word from him.
Nope.
And Justus would message us, and he says, hey, did you talk to such and such? And I'm like, no, they didn't respond back to us. Oh, I'll take care of that. and he took care of it.
He took care of it.
Yeah. He doesn't take no for an answer either. You know, like, if you don't
doesn't know what
respond,
that word means.
yeah, if you don't respond, he will message you again. And if he didn't like your answer, he will keep bugging you.
How many times did you say no to him to his first date with him?
I didn't, but we were pretty in love for the first day. So he was my very best friend.
Okay, I got a question, Holly. Do you remember what he went through on your line? What was the products that he purchased? That you said you were a cashier, correct?
Oh yeah. No, I have no idea.
You were too busy looking into his eyes.
Yes, he was so dreamy.
And falling in love with the man.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the true JDOGG fashion. Look at he married, he kept her.
Yeah.
Look at that's perfect.
She kept him.
Okay.
Yeah, he was, we were even born within 12 hours of each other. So
wow.
Yeah. Two different hospitals, but
that's all right.
Talk about synchronicity.
He took down those spirits at the same time.
Truly my soulmate and my best friend, and
that is awesome.
It's too soon. Definitely
much too soon.
And Derek, you know this gentleman as well, but Randy Bowman is checking in. He says, because of Justus, I didn't give up on my dream of bringing Squared Up to market. He told and showed so many people Squared Up, which of course resulted in sales. He never asked me for anything.
That's how I found out about it.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, you know what? He was probably the first person that wore Squared Up pants.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was an innovator. When you were looking at him, and he was so colorful, as we would call him. He was very colorful.
It's really too bad that he was not like vice president or president or a director of marketing in anywhere, because he would have made that place millions of dollars.
He would have. I'm surprised he didn't make himself millions of dollars because he was out there front and center wearing all
But you know
kinds
what?
of things.
When we hear from
wearing
Holly, I
things
don't think it was about the money.
No, it
was
wasn't.
about the
And that's what we're
love
talking about. You see it right there.
of the game.
Definitely not for the money. No, I mean, he
He
literally.
didn't have that aspirations to be the vice president of a company. He
I
was
know he
part of
never asked
every-
us for $1.
Never asked us for anything. He
No.
never asked for a product. He never
No.
said, "Hey, can you make a connection to this one for this one for that one?" Nothing. He's never done it, and that's what made him who he is. That's why we're celebrating him today, because I don't know if he asked anybody for anything.
No, he
But your
never
time.
did. We never made money on any of the promotions he did or anything like that. That's not what he was about. He was grateful for the items or the being able to try them out and stuff like that. But no, he never even asked or wanted any money. It was his passion for real. Like truly, that was his passion.
Justus was second to wear squared up pants.
I was the first. Okay, Randy, you beat us there. Sorry, we were mistaken. It's okay. But he was your first fan. How's that?
There you go.
There we go. We have his first fan.
Yeah.
Derek, I think we got a couple more people we have out there. I know we have Steve McMillan. But you're going to be front and center with us, Derek. We're going. I think we already have the name Swing for Justice. Holly's on board with it. Everybody that's commented loves the name. We got Travis Harper, and John Hoverson he used to have Loft Golf shirts out there.
Right.
He's front and center. Everybody loves the name. So I think we have the name. We have support. I know Derek's going to be front and center with us. We'd love to keep you in the loop with everything that we got going on for that tournament.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, we are at $8,871, Holly. Come on, people. We could get this to 10,000 in the next hour. Let's go.
But we
Share
don't
it.
want to stop there. Get it past 10,000.
Share the link on your Facebook profile.
Yeah,
please.
that's the thing. Everybody that sees it, share it.
Yes.
Share it.
They may not know Justice, but once they read about him and find out about him, it won't matter. They're going to want to help. So, yeah,
And it's
everybody share that
Even
link.
it doesn't cost anything to share it. So
No.
even if you don't have it in your heart that you can give it, 10,
Share it. Somebody else
Yeah.
might
just
be
share
there.
it. It doesn't cost anything.
It doesn't
No,
give you.
it
It doesn't. No information of yours goes out by just sharing that. So don't worry about anything like that. Just share it, and let's get it around and continue to gain support for Holly and their children.
Yes.
It's going to help put Holly's children, the 4 children, through school. So let's help them.
Whatever
this
you
happen.
need. There's a lot more than schools. Her kids vary in ages, and they're gonna need stuff. And JDOGG was always there, front and center. I used to love looking at the pictures that he posted with his kids. I know he loves showing his pictures of them on the golf course, especially with his son.
And camping.
I think why? Yes, and camping.
Yeah, camping.
Yeah, so he loved all that stuff. But I mean, you could see it was different. And I know it. I experienced it with my twins. Being on the golf course with your children, I think or your dad or mom or whoever, with that person you love, that creates memories you don't ever lose, you don't ever take away. You know what I mean? You could see that was the joy in my life, and you could see that was the joy in his life, watching his kids play golf.
Right.
You know what I mean? That gives him who he was. He loved it. We loved him, and we're not going to let his kids down. We're not going to. Thanks to Derek for starting that. We're going to have this Swing for Justice.
Holly is now a permanent fixture in our family.
Yes.
And we are going to do everything we can to help Holly and her children in the future, because JDOGG is the longest reigning fan here on Big's Golf Talk and longest reigning friend. I mean, when I hosted my morning show in WRLR on the northern Illinois section, he was a fan back then. So, but Derek, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
I want
Holly.
to say thank you to Derek for starting that GoFundMe. That was
You're
so
very
kind,
welcome.
and I'm so appreciative.
You're
So,
very welcome.
Thank you so much.
People like him make people like me better. So
Absolutely.
remember that. He's very special.
Amen.
He is special to all of us, and he's going to live a very long time, because they say you live as long as you are remembered, and justice will never be forgotten. That we know for a fact.
Amen to that.
Thank you, Derek.
Thanks, Derek.
Thank you,
appreciate
guys.
it, brother.
Holly, next thing I want to talk about before we bring our next guest in was his love for kids, because not many people know, but you have adoptive children. And actually, I have a photo of here with you in court and Justice and your children there. talk about his love for children, and you guys made a decision to adopt not just one child but multiple children. Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, before we even had our first daughter, who was biological, we knew we wanted to adopt. So when we had our first daughter, who's 18 now, and we were planning on having a second, it didn't happen naturally, so that we just felt that that was a sign from God that it was time to move on with our plans to adopt. So we adopted our daughter and son from Taiwan, and that made 3. And then we also became foster parents a couple years ago, and we have one son from the foster care system that we adopted. So yeah, I mean, it was my dream for a long time to adopt, and I roped him into it, and he was all in from the beginning. I mean, there was never any hesitation or anything. He's like, okay, let's do it, and we did, and I mean, it was never, like, these are my adopted kids. No, these are his kids. That's it. There was never any kind of hesitation. I mean, my daughter from Taiwan is probably taking it the hardest for sure. I mean, she was a daddy's girl, 100%, like daddy's girl, and I knew that was going to be the case from the beginning, because she was such a daddy's girl. And but she knows that daddy's still here, and she'll, she knows. So he loved his family, and I think that's the only thing he loved more than golf. That's the only thing that came before golf, was his kids and his family. And so, yeah, I mean,
his love for golf really carried over, and when we got to know him for his love for golf, we got to know his love for his family.
Absolutely,
that's how for children.
They were synonymous with each other.
It really was.
It really was. I mean, there was. I mean, every day there was something about his family or golf. The two things. Well, and God. We got to share that with him. When we had him on the show as well, he was always front and center. The 3 most important things in life. You know what I mean? Where was that? Golf, not in that order.
Right.
His family, God, and golf.
Yeah.
He taught us all that, and he shared that every day. And everybody, all you got to do is look at his social media and his Facebook page. He was proud of all of it. And it's rare that people are going to share it as much as he did without wanting anything back for it. So he was a true blessing for all of us.
Jason's in all the way for the
yes.
Jason,
event, are you still with us, Jason? Is he still there?
He took off.
He had to take off. Yeah, I mean, Jason. I know he's been posting back and forth. He's had several companies in the golf industry. That
Randy's on board, by the way. Randy Bowman.
Yes, so this is going to pick up a lot of speed. We're going to stay on top of it, and we have plenty of time. We will get with Holly and pick a date, but I think if we can get it as close to a very special date, whether it be a birthday or the day that the Lord decided to give him his new date, I think something that means really, really something special would be great. We have plenty of time to do it,
right?
But I think we can make this really, really huge and make it where it's going to gain speed and keep it going forever. It'd be a beautiful thing.
Next up, bringing in one of our media partners that's been on the show many times, and has also had many interactions with JDOGG. Steve McMillan from the Golfing Dads is joining us here on Biggs Golf Talk. Steve, you're going to have to unmute your mic, buddy. But
getting there.
Your interaction with Justus was a special one as well. And Holly's here joining us, for this show. What would you like to say to her?
First off, Holly, I said this week on Facebook that I'm never at one that's at a loss for words. And this week I found myself a lot of times at a loss for words on a lot of things. John, Bill both know me and know that I'm usually the one giving the needle and busting everybody's chops and always coming up with something to say or in defending, just like Justus, defending products left and right that I 100% believe in. And even this morning, I found myself sitting at church just thinking about Justus before I could get back on here. And I'm just so sorry for you guys, your kids. As a dad myself, I've got 2 little ones, and I can't even imagine. And I just, again, I'm at a loss for words right now.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's not, it's not fair. That's the only thing that goes through my mind is it's not fair. But besides that, there's, I can either sit and dwell on that, or I could do what he would have wanted me to do and take care of the kids and, just do what we said we would do, raise them how we said we would. And that's what I'll do because they're relying on me and that's all I can do right now. So.
Well, and I can tell you this community and not just the Becks community, but the whole golf community itself, we're all here for you. Every one of us is. And Bill, I put in comments, I'll be on that plane with you out to Phoenix. I'm coming along, and it may be the first time in my life that I actually put on a pair of loudmouth pants because my wife didn't even let me public. So,
yeah,
but I would do that for Justus. So.
It would. You know what? We there's a lot of things that we did for Justus that we normally wouldn't have. But that was the type of guy that he was. I mean, I never thought I'd hit a ball with steel in it, but I did. So there's a lot of he had a huge impact on a lot of us because of what he believes. He was that guy, and so I feel you, and I'm glad that you'd be sitting next to me. Just make sure you shower. That's all. Because for some reason, people on these airplanes, they become tighter and tighter, and it's like, yeah. So no, we'll be fine. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna. I know. I'm excited about it, and I know it's going to be our favorite tournament of the year to celebrate because we do so much for charity and for everybody, but to do it for somebody that's impacted the industry like Justus has, it's going to make it that more special. And there's going to be a lot more people that aren't able to join us that are going to be part of it. We know that because Big John has fired out letters and everything to everyone. And we have a lot of the companies on board. A lot of the companies are very saddened to hear what happened. It is Sunday, so a lot of people like yourself went to church. Companies are off.
NFL football.
Yeah. Somebody's watching the Packers.
I really felt we had to do this.
Hey, my Red Sox game just started, and I can't root for the Yankees. Sorry, Holly, I just can't do it. I'm a diehard fan. But
I'm a Bronx boy, so I can.
I know, Bill.
Yankees, Holly. So yeah, I'll be front and center rooting for the Yankees.
Yeah, he'd be disappointed about the Yankees, but that's okay. It is what it is.
I don't know how I feel about. I do eat Swiss cheese, that I do, but I don't know about the rest of this stuff. I'm being honest. I do have flaws, and one of them is rooting for the Packers. Again, I'm a Giant fan.
Steve, do you remember your first
Buffaloes?
Steve, do you remember your first interaction with Justus?
There's I've got to go back even before I started the Golfing Dads. And Bill, you and I have known each other back when I had my Twitter account, which is I still have, and I don't really post to it under Smack 4653. And Justus followed me then, and that was when I was trying to play competitively. And he was always there to, if I posted I had a good day or if I had a bad day, no matter what I posted, he was always there to be supportive. You got it. You got this. You got this next time. And he was one of the few, and like you guys said, from day one when I started the Golfing Dads, just super supportive. I think back over the last year, even the contests that we did on the page, and the minute I would put a contest up, he would tag. I don't even know how many other people he would tag in it.
He would tag
everybody. Yeah.
I think he added friends to his account just to tag them.
He probably had friends that he didn't even like from and added them anyway. So, yes.
Correct. So
he shared the love.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, and he just I think back to and not too long ago was one of the last conversations that he and I had. We had a Facebook chat, video chat on We All Remember the Incident, because I was on your show multiple times about it, and that was the Squares golf incident with
he hammered that guy.
Well, we all did.
He's like, don't mess with my squares. I will come.
He squared up with that guy really quick, as all of us did.
And I think the disappointing thing that I was looking forward to the most, and again, we never met in person, but I felt like he was family. And the one thing that I would say is that in that conversation, we talked about this year's PGA show, and he said, I really need to come. I really need to come to the PGA show. I need to be there. And I said, well, if you come, brother, I said, I'll get Bill and John, and we're all playing some golf that week at some point.
Absolutely.
And I said, I know that they would be in for that. And he was like, you know what? He goes, I'm going to see what I can do. I want to be there, and I'm in for that. That sounds like a great time. And I know
I told him when I golfed with him last that he was expressing that he really wanted to go to the PGA show. It was like him as a kid in the candy store.
Yep.
And I said to him,
dream.
yeah. Well, I said to him, because he is the longest reigning fan of BGT, and I said to him that I would put him on our credentials list as a producer.
Yeah.
And I talked to
he could have been on my credentials list too.
Right.
Yeah. And I could have been on mine. I would have put him on it too.
She said, if you wanted him as your guest, we'll make it happen.
Yeah.
And I'm just sorry
we've been. I mean, it's unfortunate because he was unselfish and he had the opportunity, as Derek said, to attend before, and he didn't do it. You know what I mean? Because of family. Family was important, so we did. And you're right, Randy. He never slept. And that should be a requirement for everyone, loudmouth fans, to get in.
Loudmouth fans to play in the tournament.
Maybe
we might be making a call to loudmouth.
We're gonna have to make a couple of calls and see how that works out.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's gonna be with us this year, one way or another. JDOGG will be at that. We're one of the first shows that go on at the PGA show. They got new plans that are happening, that they're going to be changing our radio stage for more exposure and stuff like that.
Instead of being in a hallway, we're going to be inside
the halls, inside where everybody.
Bill, you mean I can't come down the elevator and
you can't come down the elevator and chat with us anymore. I don't know how I feel, because I like everybody. Everybody sees us every morning, and we are truly live. It's not filmed. Others have to be filmed.
And this is actually going to be the first PGA show that we're going to be live on video as well.
Live on video as well. So we will be on the TV side and the audio side. And I mean, he's going to be with us one way or another. JDOGG will be at that PGA show. That I can guarantee. If it happens, and this crazy thing that we're going through right now that took him from us too young, if it allows us to have a PGA show, JDOGG's going to be there with us. That we know, and it's going to be a special PGA show, and I'm looking forward for Swing for Justice. It might be. I mean, who knows? Maybe we can.
Hey guys, if you wouldn't mind, I'd love to be a part of that at the PGA show. Obviously.
Absolutely, brother.
Part of whatever you guys could do. I'd love to be a part of that with you guys.
Yeah, we're gonna make it really special and do something.
Yeah,
special.
we're gonna like I said, I don't know if you had joined us yet, Steve, but Biggs Golf Talk is going to present an award each and every year. It's going to be the Product of the Year award to a business that we feel Justus would be supporting. And we already have a company in mind for the first award. And
yes, we've already discussed.
It's no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. We can't share that right now.
We can't share that information.
It's a no-brainer of what he does and the support that he has. I mean, we all have to be honest. I mean, we've had Derek Queener on here and others, and Encore, and there's so many more that couldn't join us that have reached the spotlight and reached folks that could talk to it, in the media, like yourself, Steve, and like us, because of him. You know what I mean? Because there's only so many eyes that we have and so many things that we can do. And the thing is, like yourself and us, we want to make sure that anything that we promote and talk about and do is legit. We want to make sure that it's a product that you're not going to go and spend a crazy amount of, and we've had some of those, but we won't talk about those. If we don't believe in it and we can't find out that it really works, we can't do it. We'll be constructive about it. And while people are like, oh, you never talk negative.
We give feedback behind the scenes.
Exactly.
We don't have to come on the show
we
to bash
don't need to bash
product.
anyone. That's not what we're about.
That's not what Justus was about.
No, you can't be praising this and praising God and praising this and then go bash companies because for whatever reason. So we're not, that's not either one of us. None of us do that. But Justus single-handedly was everywhere. He was everywhere we couldn't be, and he always thought about all of us. And if he found a product that he believed in, hey, can you test this out? Can you do blah blah blah? And he would set everything up. He made everyone's life a lot easier to interact, to get the product, to test it out. And I don't think there was ever anything that Justus had sent to us or made a connection that wasn't legit. I really can't.
It's funny. He'd reached out to me to help him. I'd done the giveaway with Sky Caddy for the GPS LX5 watch for the PGA Championship, and he'd reached out to me to see because his golf watch had just died, and I got in connection with someone that you and I both know, and Tracy. And Tracy took care of getting him that LX5 watch earlier this year, and thank you, Tracy.
She was on social media giving her condolences as well.
Yeah, I had actually, it's funny. I had actually called her. I called her earlier this week just to chat about it and fill her in, because again, this community where, we all have a, it's a big community. Like you can go around the PGA show and see just how big the community is, and not everybody shows up. But I also feel like this community, and being so big, is such a tight-knit community when you find the good and the good in what people do, and not the companies that just don't stand there and slam and do all these other things. We support our products. All of us have done that. All of us have, spoken, written everything about certain products, and whether we go back to Amp Caddy and we go all the way back to that incident, or we
even if it's against one of our own that bashed the company for no reason at all. I mean, they didn't have a legitimate gripe. We fought for that as well as yourself. You saw that we all did it. So I agree.
So I think I just look at I think back in the last 5 weeks, I battled COVID myself. I got it.
Right.
I think about, what I went through. My wife and I both had it at the same time, actually. She was literally a day ahead of me on how we all progressed. And I look at, now where we are, and we're having this conversation today, and somebody that we all care about is no longer around for us to laugh and joke and watch the Hissalot videos and all of those funny things, because I enjoyed the Hissalot videos myself, and the funny memes that he would put up, like as Derek and Brett talked about, between the memes and everything else, I think about where we are now, and I think about how lucky each and every one of us has been to say that, myself and Bill, we never met him in person. I never got a chance to play golf with Justus, and to see the type of person that he was, to see the character that he was, and treat him and think of him as part of our family, I think speaks leaps and bounds for the person. And I hope that when our day has come, will people be saying the same thing about us? And that's what I think we all strive for.
Honestly, I've thought about that, and that gives us something to strive for.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because the impact that he had, we can only hope to have that kind of impact on the industry, on the people that we touch every single day in our lives. Are we going to be remembered like that?
Yeah.
Well, I have a surprise.
And the father that he was, and
he was in the
family, in the family that he cared about more than anything in the world.
I have a surprise for everybody. And just a little bit, we're going to revisit our interview with Justus Becks.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Holly, I don't know if you had a chance to hear it, but if you didn't, you're going to hear it. But we're going to talk with Justus Becks, and we're going to revisit that interview. But right now, I know Derek is still here. I know Steve, you're going to hang tight. Right now, I want to bring you guys back after this, but I want to take a little moment and let's look back. Let's look back on Justus Becks.
Saw you in heaven, would it be the same if I saw you in heaven? I must be strong and carry on, 'cause I know I don't belong here in heaven. Would you hold my hand if I saw you in heaven? Stand if I saw you in heaven. I'll find my way through night and day, 'cause I know I just can't stay here in heaven. Beyond the door, there's peace, I'm sure, and I know there'll be no more tears in heaven. Would you know my name if I saw you in heaven? Would it be the same if I saw you in heaven? I must be strong and carry on, 'cause I know I don't belong here in heaven, 'cause I know I don't belong here in heaven.
I don't know how you follow that, bro. It's incredible.
You know,
I don't know, bro. I'm looking at all the people in those photos that had a blessing to actually meet him and shake his hand and it's like, I think that's one of the few regrets people, everybody wants to meet all these pros and shake hands with this one and see Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Right now, all I want to see is Justus, man. I would love to see JDOGG and tell him the impact that he has. And I know he's watching over us, but it's not the same. You know what I mean? That's the one regret that I'm going to take with me, that I didn't get to shake his hand. I probably wouldn't even shake his hand. I probably would have hugged him and done the bro thing and everything like that.
We've seen pictures with him with celebrities.
Yes.
But he was a true celebrity.
He was. And that's, yeah, this thing, it's a shame. It really is, because he's done so much, and it's a shame that it took this to realize how much of an impact he has had on the industry. Now that he's not here, because now we all wake up and we don't see that message or get that message. When your phone lights up at 4:00 in the morning and it's Justus on Instagram sharing his story, and it's like, wow, we don't have that anymore, and I miss it. I miss not having that and seeing, regardless of who he's doing or what his mission is for the day.
I'm actually wearing a shirt that says
eat, sleep, golf,
repeat.
and repeat. Yeah, but it's too soon, man. It really is. Yes, he does have he had a great infectious smile, and it's gonna, that smile lives on in his children. If you look at those pictures on that video, those children were smiling, they were happy. He's left an impact and a legacy that's gonna live a lifetime and beyond that. And all of us are gonna make sure that he lives on. And it's just,
I know many of our guests had to leave, are still watching, while they're on their way to wherever they're going. Derek, any final thoughts?
No, I think everybody's, everybody that's been on here and everybody that's sent a comment across the bottom, it just lets you know that's the guy we're celebrating today, and we're going to celebrate, every day, because like I told Holly, it's people like him make people better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't mean that we're bad people.
No,
it's just we maybe not quite as good as Justus, and we can all change that. And
yeah, he went above and beyond.
Try to be better.
Yeah, absolutely. You are better.
Maybe I wouldn't have done like the
washing machine,
the donation to the shelter. Maybe not, it wouldn't have crossed my mind, because I have a lot of stuff going through my mind. But that day, it was important, and because of him, I did it, and I want to continue that. Being that person.
We're all going to be that person. We're all better people because of him, and we're going to make sure that keeps going. I really believe in my heart that all of us are going to be a lot better because of him, and making sure that his legacy continues to go every single day.
I just want to say thank you. A couple of my kids have some big emotions right now, so I'm kind of doing that right now. But I just wanted to say thank you for doing this, and I appreciate it. And that slideshow was awesome. And but right now I'm gonna take care of my kiddos and
Holly,
we appreciate it.
We have, I can get you a copy of that slideshow if you like to have that on DVD or something
great.
like that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
But I think on behalf of everybody that was here today, we want to thank you for taking time out, because I know this is certainly a time we were hoping to have his dad and his sister reached out to me. I guess they, it was probably emotional.
Of course.
And it's pretty brave to come on here and talk with us and see all this and see all the comments and see and hear all the people talk and all that. And we just want to say thank you. And we certainly love you, love your family. And if there's anything that any one of us can do, don't hesitate to reach out, and we will be talking off the air and all that stuff. We're going to get that memorial tournament going.
Yes,
that'd be awesome. He would love that more than anything. I mean, that's right up his alley. So
it will happen.
It's
Yeah,
gonna happen. We promise.
that's
It's gonna
awesome.
happen.
Yeah.
We're all gonna make it happen, and the people that aren't even here are gonna make it happen. We're gonna make sure it goes.
He would love that. But thanks again. Thanks to
Thank you.
all of you. And
Yeah.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Holly.
say goodbye. Thank
Thanks,
you. Bye-bye.
Steve, any final thoughts?
How do you follow that? You know, life is short. Sometimes things happen that we can all look back and say, you know, this sucks. And there isn't a lot of explanation for it. Billy Joel saying only the good die young. And, you know, I think that's where I think we are today. I know that every one of us on here, and Derek, we've never met in person, but I know we follow each other on Facebook, and I know that every one of us probably considers ourselves a better person just for knowing Justus and just for having him be a part of our lives. And, you know, and anybody that's been on here and watching this and commenting, I'm sure feels the same way. I've never met anybody that's ever said a bad thing about Justus. And if they did, I was just going to walk away because they lost credibility in my book. So, you know, I think, you know, we have to look at the end of the day, you know, give your kids an extra hug every day. Tell them you love them, because at some point it could all be cut short. And
Yes, and that's a big thing. JDOGG wasn't afraid to tell you what he felt, how he felt, when he felt it, and that's what so many of us are guilty of. You know, we hide our feelings and the impact that people like him have in it, when we should be celebrating that. Like, we're celebrating his life now. And yeah, we're all sad, but you know what? That's going to propel us to do better. We're all going to be a better person because of him, and we're going to go out there and do bigger, better things for him and his family because of it, because he deserves it. He deserves that. You know what I mean? And his family deserves the support that he gave all of us. He gave us support from day one, and you know, for the most part, you learn to appreciate that. You really don't understand the impact that you have on other people's lives. That's why Biggs and I have always wanted to take the faithful side of it within his grip and stuff like that, and be true to the people that don't get that exposure, the charities that don't get that exposure, that are really true at heart. We want that. We want to be that vessel that you can join on and say, you know what, this is what I want to share. This is the purpose, and we're going to do that.
And today certainly wasn't about Biggs Golf Talk.
No, absolutely not.
It was about two guys that host a radio TV show that wanted to memorialize and celebrate the life of an individual that not just became a fan, a listener, a viewer, but a friend.
And a family member. He's more than a friend to most of us. He became a true, you know what? Blood doesn't make you family, man, anymore. Not in my mind, because I've had blood do me terribly wrong, and they're no longer in my life. And I've had friends that are supposed to be friends that have been much more than family will ever be. So Justus was family. Justus was more than a friend. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have the similar feeling that he was family to us. And that's how we're going to treat him, as if he was family.
This is actually going to re-air on the radio side Saturday. Along with that audio will be an interview with Justus.
Yes.
We didn't have a video interview with him, but we do have an audio interview with him, and it's going to be on the radio side,
which is perfect. Yes.
And it'll also be attached to our podcast as well. But Steve and Derek,
thank you.
I'm looking forward to talking with both of you guys in the future to make the Swing for Justice Memorial Tournament happen. And
let's get together in January.
You just tell me when.
PGA show.
I mean, I could come down for a day. I probably won't come for the whole time. I have my second company now that the golf cart thing.
Yes.
Kind of.
And we'll definitely
have you on for that at a different time. So
occupies a lot of my time building those. So
let's make a promise to each other. Let's meet each other in Orlando. We'll all be there in January, God willing. And we'll break bread and we'll talk about Justus and how we can do the Swing for Justice.
We'll make it happen. We can get so many people involved in this, and so many companies. Like I said, Loudmouth would be crazy not to be a part of this. So Big John Daly will make sure he.
Well, we have a connection to Mr. John Daly, thanks to the connection with Maple Squares.
Yeah, and John's actually also a member at my course. So
perfect.
Yeah,
so
which is right across the street. I see him quite often.
Good.
And I know he's already met Justus. So
yes,
if he doesn't already know, once he knows, we'll be able to see if we can't get him. I mean, he can
Yes.
create some buzz in the golf world. So
And let's not forget
I'm
Rob
sure.
West performing.
Rob West, we
Yes.
have Rob West out
He will
there
be
too.
as well.
Imagine
So,
him performing too as
yeah,
well. Oh,
we
yeah.
will make this, an annual thing that,
Yes.
like you
Yes, we
said,
have to.
he will always be remembered, and he deserves to be, because people like him, they're rare.
Rare, yes.
Yep.
Very, very rare.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining in, and we certainly appreciate your time. And
Absolutely.
Biggs, one last comment, and
Yes.
Yes.
I think I want to speak for everyone else and say thank you to you guys for doing this.
Absolutely, yeah.
You guys were the vessel today that brought all this together, and I just want to say on behalf of everybody that's here, because I think I'm speaking for. I hope everyone's on the same page. I want to say thank you guys for doing this for Justus, because it truly for all of us means a lot.
I don't think we deserve any credit.
No.
I'll tell you who deserves. I'll tell you who deserves the credit.
Who?
The Lord.
Absolutely.
Lord,
He brought us all together.
The Lord worked through us today.
Yes.
To do this.
Yeah.
And I felt what we needed to do this on Lord's Day.
Because I was even like, should we do it on Saturday? And he's like, no, let's do it on Sunday. It's a more purposeful day. And that's what it is. It's the Lord's Day. And we're celebrating, somebody that had a lot of faith and did a lot of good in this world. And he was taken way too soon from us. So definitely.
Holly, I don't know how she kept it together when we can't.
Oh,
We're still grown men that can't keep it together. This lady, I mean,
I'll
she's
tell you
so
what.
strong. So God bless her for her strength, because
That's right.
I couldn't keep
Men
it together, and I knew I wouldn't. I'm a big tough guy, trust me. But I'm a big softie, and there was just no way. I knew. I was like, I'm gonna cry. I don't care. So kudos to
It's
her
okay.
for
We
holding
all
it together.
Yeah.
We all got to shed our tears for him, but it was a little bit of sadness, happiness. Nobody wants to know that your boy's suffering. You know what I
Right.
mean? The way he was, and it went quick. You hear some terrible stories out there of it just lasting and lasting and lasting, and people suffering.
He fought.
He fought.
He
You
had
know what
to-
I mean?
He had
But
a fight.
God wanted him, man. That's the way I'm going to take it. The Lord wanted him. He had better purpose for him right now, and we're going to make sure that his family is not left behind. That we know. We're going to make sure that we picked up where Justus unfortunately was taken away from, and we're going to make sure that his kids are taken care of and his wife is taken care of, and we have the means to do it. We have the vessels, all of us, and all of us together. I don't think anybody's going to be able to stop us. I really don't.
Yeah.
Well, thank
we
you,
can
guys.
start companies. We can sure do this. I
Yes,
mean,
absolutely.
we haven't given up yet. So
Nope.
Yep.
Not at all.
God bless you guys. Thank you so much for
Thank you
joining us.
spending- Yes.
And
we appreciate
yeah,
you.
take
I just
care.
want to say thank you to everybody that chimed in today and left comments and joined us today, and Encore Golf, Squared Up, all those people joining us.
And there was a lot of companies that reached out behind the scenes that
Jeff
weren't
Lowe
able.
from Putter Buddy,
Yes.
he
Caddy Daddy, all the companies.
not
out
Putter
there.
Buddy, but
I know you're talking about.
I know.
It's hard to remember everything that's going on when emotions are involved. We did the right thing. There's a lot of companies that didn't know originally that happened, and they're out to help support. So you guys could start supporting by going to the GoFundMe page that Derek Queen has started. Biggs has promoted it. There you go. Swing for Justice. Donate now. Go there. Hit the button. Anything helps. Everything helps. Share. That helps us. We're going to keep this thing going, and we're going to make that tournament the best tournament ever.
And right now, we're going to move away to the audio on the radio side and enjoy this interview with Justus Becks. Thanks for watching, everybody. God bless you. And
you matter.